type of heat sources are out there available or even in your home? Stick around as I get into that in the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to you on Monday through Friday, each and every week around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out, we talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with a recent price reduction, as well as something unique about the property. Want to share with you guys, want everybody to know so that you can check it out and take advantage of it. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. And to figure out how you can get your question on the show and answered, just tune in until the end. And finally, of course, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every week. This week is no exception. And if you'd like to find out how you could be a sponsor of the week, support the show, all you got to do is just stick around. As you guys are tuning in, if you are on Facebook, make sure you comment either hashtag live or hashtag replay so I know how you're catching this and can just reach out to you. For my YouTubers out there, thank you guys for stopping by, checking it out. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification. Like I said, that way as I bring new videos and content, you can come check them out and you get notified as well. All right, so the property we are talking about today is newer to the market. Address is 108 First Street in Americus, just a few miles north of Emporia. It's a 3-bed, 2.5-bath house. It's got 2,176 square feet of finished space, currently listed at $159,900 courtesy of Farm and Home Real Estate. So this is a ranch style house. It has an attached 2-car garage to it. Like I said, just north of town, about 6-7 miles. It's got a number of updates throughout the house. Makes it look absolutely phenomenal, as well as a sunroom in it. So it's got a 20 by 20 sunroom in it as well, just for a little more space, or to hang out, talk, and just sit around. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's also got a fenced in yard, does have a storage shed out back as well, full basement, and it does have part of the updates. It's got a more of an open style kitchen. So it is very cool property. Make sure that you click on the link in the description. It'll take you right to my website so you can see the house for yourself, check out the pictures, and just take a look at it. If you're interested and you're already pre-approved, all you got to do is just shoot me a message while you're looking at the website, or jump back here to Facebook, and I would be happy to answer any questions, concerns, or schedule a showing for this property. I don't anticipate this one sticking around very long, so sooner the better. Just click on that link while this house is available to view. You can do so from that link. Before we get into the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Mark II Lumber. They have been locally owned and in business since 1969. Most recently, family owned since the new owners in 76. So they've been open since 69, and they have quality building materials and service. They are absolutely phenomenal. I like going there myself, just because as soon as you walk in, you've got somebody that greets you, as well as just asks if you need help finding anything. I myself always need help finding something, so I like that there's always somebody available, somebody there that can either answer my questions or point me in the right direction. And that is definitely a highlight for me, because I love just getting in, getting out, so I can head on down the road. So if you guys have any questions or want to talk to them, all you got to do is click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to Mark II's Facebook page. They've got their email address there, their phone number there. their business hours, which are Monday through Friday, 7 to 5:30, and Saturday, 7 to 1. So if you guys have any questions, want to see what sales they have going on, or see what they have in stock, all you got to do is just go to that Facebook page. Their phone number there is there, as well as their email address. So if you guys have any questions, shoot me a message and I would be happy to get you in touch with somebody from there. If you are interested or curious how you could be a sponsor of the week for the hot list, all you got to do, shoot me a message through Facebook, or if you're browsing my website, all you got to do is contact me there. We will jump on a quick phone call and just see if we are a good fit, good match to and mesh well together. See if we can get you as a sponsor of the week. All right. Now moving on to my favorite part of the podcast, and that is the question of the day. Question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. I've been taking questions for over a year now. Trying to think. I think I started the podcast in August of 2019, and I have had a question asked and addressed every single day, and I can't thank y'all enough that listen to this, support this. If you have a question, please feel free to shoot me a message wherever you're listening to this. All you got to do is just put your question in the comments. It'll get to me, and I would be happy to answer it for you, as well as answer it on the show as well. All right, question of the day. Should I search for a house with a certain type of heat source? This is a great question. I love this question, as I love many of the questions, especially since we are beginning to cool off here in Kansas. This morning I had to turn on the heater because we woke up and it was 62 degrees in the house, and Lisa was not happy. So I fired up the gas furnace. So obviously the weather may differ depending on where you're listening to this at. There are many different types of heating options available for homes. Some of you guys may have saw that I put that question on my Facebook page this morning just to see who has what type of heat source out there. And I got a number of different ones. I've got wood burning stoves. I've got IR heaters, ground source, and of course just the old school boiler gas furnace. So there's a number of different ones out there. Obviously some, like I just mentioned, you may be familiar with. Others are going to be newer, may not know a whole lot about. One of these in particular I didn't know a whole lot about, which is why I enjoy these questions and answering these questions for y'all. Either way, understanding how different heating options work is extremely important, because this can help you decide how to best heat your home, alternatives to heat your home, which type you may have a preference with, and which type you may be okay with having in the home, or which one is the simplest for you to live with and know how to work. So whether you're searching for your dream home, your right now home, or updating your house, we're going to get into 6 types of heat sources that you might encounter. Number 1 is one of the most popular ones, and that is gas heat. Generally, the name says it all. This means your system uses gas to produce heat. That burns a flammable gas. The 2 most popular type are natural gas and propane. So depending on where you live, it may come from a city supplied utility line or a standalone tank that is located somewhere on the property. The heater functions with these by adjusting the gas passing through the chamber, making the flames larger or smaller. Doing this controls the amount of heat flames released into the air and passing through the chamber. Propane heat may be seen in other forms than what you're used to for example, gas fireplaces or uh, that serve as decorative purposes, as well as localized heat. Number two is another more common one, which is forced air. Forced air systems use fans or blowers to move air over a heating element. And once they move that over the heating element, then that the blower pushes it out throughout the ductwork in the system. Typically, these are more common heaters, like I mentioned, and you do see some variations of forced air heating used in most central heat and central air systems. You might also start to see this now in some portable heaters as well. So just keep an eye out for those, and that's just know what they are. Number three, baseboard radiators. No, not the style that's in your car. These can have a few different types of baseboard heaters. They generally sit at or around floor level. They can be around the edges of rooms. These generate heat and allow it to rise naturally throughout either the room or your household. Depending on the material that's used in the heater can vary. Most modern ones now have pipes in them filled with some type of heating oil, and it just heats it up and just radiates. I lived in a house and an apartment with this, and I've still seen some of those around showing houses. Some of them are a little bit older, some are newer. Either way, they still work and just are a nice overall warmth. What these do are, because it's radiant, they hold and radiate the heat at a lower power cost, similar to some other options like electric floor heaters or electric radiators, because those things can draw some huge amps. Number four, radiant heat. These, as of recently, are becoming more popular, especially with radiant floor heating. I've shown some lake houses with these. I showed a couple houses just 2 weeks ago. They had a radiant floor set up, so the system was in the basement, and they had the lines running back and forth. Very cool. These are a closed liquid heating system. These are generally embedded in concrete, like in garages or shops, or types of flooring materials like the ones that I showed last week. The flooring material were wood floors. So these heat the floor itself and allow the heat to radiate up naturally, because if you remember, hot air rises, colder air sinks because it's heavier. So these provide a gentle heat over larger areas without having to jack up and run your energy bills clear up. These have a wide range of radiant heat options available. Everything from electric heating systems to wood stoves being heated and used outside to pump it up inside. Number five, one that many of us, at least around here, are familiar with: solid fuel heaters. You're thinking solid fuel heaters, you might know them as pellet stoves. So solid fuel stoves or pellet stoves burn some type of material like wood pellets or shavings instead of some type of liquid or gas fuel. These are generally seen as more green option by homeowners, as well as they can be more affordable options as well, depending on how it's set up, what type of pellets you use, and how often you're going to use it. This could be used as secondary heat on top of your furnace, or it could be your primary source, just depending on what you have set up. Now, these are becoming more and more popular around here because they are a little bit cleaner as well. Instead of carrying firewood in and out or having to cut firewood all the time, these pellet stoves are just a little bit simpler. So the fuel pellets are loaded into the heater and they're released into a burning chamber gradually. Just like most of us are familiar with the Camp Chef or Traeger grills, they have that auger that feeds the pellets in there. This is very similar to that. This provides a more controlled temperature and heat intensity than you would get with traditional wood stoves. So that's the one nice thing about those. All right, and finally, number 6 on the list, one of them that I was not familiar with, CHP systems. This is a newer technology, and these are combined heat and power. These are ideally designed to be environmentally friendly and the heat option. The system uses a generator that not only produces heat, but it produces power for the home as well. So when it produces that power, it reclaims the heat energy released by the generator in order to heat the home. So it's very, very cool. It's not yet available in every area. So like I said, I was not familiar with it. So I was surprised that this was one of the ones that kept coming up and people knew about that I didn't. So that's why I love these questions, because in doing some research, talking to some people, I always learn something, just like I hope that everybody listening to this learns something as well. These may not be for everybody because these provide more than just heat for your homes. These are gaining popularity in parts of the country because the CHP systems, like I said, not only heat your homes, but this is a way to reduce your dependence on external power as well. So that's what makes these very unique and very cool with newer technology. So that is the 6 most common ones that you may have heard of, and now you know how they work a little bit. Remember, with the gas heat, it produces heat by burning the flame with natural gas or propane. The forced air system uses fans or blowers to move air over a heating element. Baseboard radiators you may not see as much as or as often as you used to, and these just have some type of heating oil in them, and they give off some type of radiant heat. Number 4 was the radiant heat, and typically you see this in flooring, in concrete or some type of wood floors, and it's a liquid heating system. Number 5 was the solid fuel heaters, more commonly known as pellet stoves, that are a little bit cleaner than wood stoves, and sometimes less work as well if you're the one cutting the wood. And of course, number 6 were the CHP systems, which again stands for combined heat and power. Again, not available everywhere as of yet, but what makes these unique is it's based on a generator that produces power for the home, and as that power heats up, it reclaims the heat energy released by the generator, and that passes through and heats your home. So I'm curious, after going through all that, what type of heat sources do y'all use? Are you familiar with? Do you use something different to heat your home or heat your shop or your outbuildings? I'm curious. So drop me a comment wherever you're listening to this at, and let me know what type you use, what you're familiar with, and what your preference is as well. That is going to wrap it up today in the hot list. So thanks for watching with Matt in a Hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal Monday, and make sure you tune back in tomorrow for your weekly market update. Take care.